My name is Willie Minnix. I am the author of the new book, Music, or why do I always start with music? Music and Lyrics is a really good movie with Drew Barrymore and, what's his name, Hugh Grant. It has nothing to do with my book, Lyrics and Music. So I am the author of the new book, Lyrics and Music, and the subtitle of that book is Music Theory for Aspiring Songwriters. So if you're a songwriter and you want to write songs but you don't know anything about music theory, it is the book for you, because I pretty much cover all of the really important stuff in that book. And you can get it at Barnes & Noble, you get it at Amazon, you probably order it through any bookstore. If you ask them nicely, they can probably get it for you. I will say the Barnes & Noble version is a little bit longer. But today I'm going to finish up my talk as the fire truck drives past me. I hope that everybody's okay. Anyway, I'm going to give you 5 more tips to help you write different rhythm to your songs. One of the things that you can do is, if your song is kind of just real straight up and down, is you can swing it and make it have more of a blues or a jazz feel to it. Tip number 2. This is something that I don't hear hardly at all, and I have rarely heard it except for a Bob Dylan song called Changing of the Guards. You can speed up your tempo as you go along. So the song can start off in, let's say it's in 4/4 time at, I don't know, maybe 85 beats per minute. By the end of the song, you can make the song increase up to 110 beats per minute and really get kind of a frantic, gallopy feel, if that's the kind of thing that you're going for. Why it works so good with Changing of the Guards is that song is like this weird apocalyptic end times kind of a thing, and it just keeps speeding up as the song goes on, which is kind of a cool thing. I don't know if Dylan did that on purpose, like if he told the drummer, hey, speed up, or if the band just sort of got this, intensity going on as they were playing, but that's what comes across in the recording. And the cool thing is, in this modern day and age of computer quantization, you actually can set the computer to speed up your tempo for you. So you might play around with that and see what happens. Compound rhythms. Try working through different rhythms that stack on top of each other. So you can have 4/4 time stacked on top of 3/4 time and have different instruments or even different vocalists playing off of these different rhythms, and it ends up making these interesting polyrhythms. Tip number 4, you could try unusual rhythm instruments. So instead of just your standard drum kit, maybe you haven't considered trying out, for instance, one time I did a recording and we filled up these big glass steins, beer steins, with water, and we were tapping on them, and we made an instrument basically out of that, and it gave an interesting sound. You may, thud a pillow. I've heard people do that to get an interesting rhythmic sound. I've heard people dropping water droplets to get a new type of rhythm. There's all sorts of things you could do, and maybe if you just think outside the box, you won't be really changing your rhythm much, but you'll bring a new element to the rhythm that might make it pop more than it had previously. And the final tip that I have for today is rhythmic split. You can split the rhythm across different instruments to make a really complex rhythmic palette. So certain instruments can kind of emphasize other parts of the rhythm more. So let's say you have a polyrhythm. Let's just go back to the last couple examples. If you have 2 complex rhythms that are happening, and one set of instruments are kind of following the one and another set of instruments are kind of following the other, well, then you end up with a much more textured landscape or soundscape for what you're working on. So those are some tips. You can give them a shot. They may or may not work for you, but they're definitely worth trying out and seeing if something there helps. I will have more tips in another video, and I hope that you have a great day. God bless you, and if you get a chance, check out my book and or my other books. I have a lot of books on different topics, and especially if you want to learn how to play the mandolin, I have a whole series of mandolin books out there called Mandolin Dead Man's Tuning. So you have a great day. God bless. I will see you down the road.